Have you considered starting a business in the United States or going the other path to buying an existing business and then moving to the United States through the E2, L1, or EB5 visa? In today's video, we're going to go through some of the benefits from buying a business versus starting one from scratch. So, depending on how valuable the business is that you're potentially buying, it can make a lot of sense to buy an existing business. You already have the customer base. Hopefully, it's already cash flowing and it's more predictable for basically the future success as you've already broke even. You don't have to worry about passing that big hurdle. And hopefully, there's not a big decrease in revenue or profits with the change of owner. So, if a business is for sale for one time, the seller discretionary earnings, how much the seller was making from running the business, assuming he was an owner operator, one time, two times, that's a pretty nice valuation for an existing business. Because you have to think, if you start a business from zero, it might take you a year, 2 years to start making significant income. So if you can buy a business that already has that cash flow stream and buy it at a nice valuation of one time, two times earnings, it can make a lot of sense. Just be sure to budget in the time. It can take anywhere from 6 to 12 plus months to find the businesses, hire an accountant to do a due diligence, and go through the necessary steps when you're evaluating the business, as it could take a month per business that you enter into an agreement to further investigate and bring in your advisor, the accountant, the CPA to look over the books. So that can really add up 6 to 12 months. Now, if the valuation's like 4, 5, 6 times what the seller was earning through the business, and you're going to have to pay that much of a premium, it can still make sense, but you then have to really grow the business, or you have to really want that industry, and there has to be some other synergy besides just the earnings from the business, as it's going to take a long time to recuperate that initial capital investment. And again, there can be a drop in revenue, drop in profit when there's a change of owner. Some of the positives with a startup: you're not just limited in terms of businesses that are already operating in your set geography or the space you want to be operating in, the industry. You can start a business, whatever you want to do online. You could start a franchise, a physical business potentially, or a business that you go to the customer and have a very small executive office, or you work from home. So a startup has incredible flexibility, and generally you don't have to invest so much capital. So again, if you're looking to buy an existing business, you might have to pay 3 times, 4 times what that owner was making. That's the going rate for buying an existing business. As I said earlier in this video, it could be 1 time, 2 times, but generally you're going to have to pay a nice premium to buy that business. So say you started a property management business and it only costs you 50, 60K to open, including working capital. It might take you 6 months, 12 months to start making income from it. But if you were to buy that property management business where you're managing 100 residential properties, you might have to pay 500K, 700K to buy that existing business that maybe costs you 1/10 the amount to start that business up. So it's going to depend a lot on what your time frame is, what opportunities you're able to identify in terms of buying a business, and then wrapping up the visa, because you are watching visa franchise. For the E2 visa, an existing business is attractive, but you're going to have to budget 6 to 12 months and ideally multiple trips to the United States to investigate the businesses. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take more time than starting an independent business or starting a franchise. If you were to buy an existing independent business, if you're buying an existing franchise, it's a little easier given the data that is required to report from the franchisee to the franchisor, and the time to buy an existing business should go down. For the L1 visa, it's ideal if you do an existing business, because existing business, existing franchise, as you're able to get a 3-year visa, and you can fast track your process to getting the EB1C green card. So you can look to get a green card faster when you purchase an existing business that already has 10 plus employees, or at least you would be the manager of managers, and usually there's going to be at least 10 employees. And then for an EB5 visa, it's ideal actually just to start a new business, because you got to create 10 new jobs, full-time jobs in a set period, and invest $800,000. You can take over an existing business, but it has to be struggling, or you have to add an additional 10 jobs onto that business that you're taking over. So it's cleaner for the EB5 when it's starting a new business, cleaner for the L1 visa if you're taking over an existing business. And then for the E2, it can go either way. It's just going to depend on what your time frame is. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. There are benefits for starting a business and buying an existing business, whether you're looking to apply for the E2, L1, or EB5 investor visa.